gentlemen of the jury, Neptune abandoned safety. Neptune abandoned standards, and Neptune abandoned Lee Allen. This case is clear. There are rules put in place, standards, such as different diver certifications and the buddy system, designed to keep divers safe, and how it was Neptune who broke these standards. Neptune, whose CEO helped create these standards. And that is why we're here today. We're here because they paired Reggie Rogers, a dive master, with Lee Allen. We're here today because they dove past recreational limits. And we're here today because they told Lee Allen to go swim into a shipwreck by himself in total darkness during a storm, members of the jury. We have the burden of proof. That means that we had to prove to you that Neptune is liable for the death of Lee Allen. And to do this, we look to the law, the Midland Civil Code. And it states that we have to prove to you the 4 elements of civil recklessness. And the law only requires that we prove these elements merely by a preponderance of the evidence, meaning that it is more likely than not 50% and just a feather's weight. First, we have to show you that Neptune owed Lee Allen a duty of care. Second, we have to prove to you that Neptune breached that duty of care by acting with a reckless disregard for Lee's safety. Third, that breach of duty was both the direct and proximate cause of Lee Allen's death. Now, direct means, but for Neptune's actions, Lee Allen would still be here with us today. And proximate, meaning that it was foreseeable Lee Allen would suffer harm by the choices made by Neptune. Now, there's 2 elements, members of the jury, that both sides agree on. We both agree that Neptune owed Lee Allen a duty of care. And we both agree that Lee Allen suffered harm. The defense admits this before this trial even began. We're here to decide whether or not Neptune breached their duty of care by acting with a reckless disregard for Lee Allen's actions, and whether that breach of duty was the direct and proximate cause of Lee Allen's death. At the beginning of today's trial, my co-counsel, Mr. Adner Brenders, he came before you and told you to keep 2 questions in mind throughout today's trial. First, what did Neptune know before allowing Lee Allen to die on July 7th? And 2, what did Neptune choose to do? First, what did Neptune know? Neptune knew the safety standards as summarized in Scuba Diving 101, the buddy system, the recreational limits, the certifications. Neptune knew that Lee Allen was a relatively poor diver. Neptune knew that on the day of, a storm was coming on the location. We recall the testimony of Carrie Connor. We heard how Neptune's employees saw storm clouds coming to the ship. How Neptune saw that Lee Allen didn't have his backup air tank. And how Neptune knew that the dive to the Hepburn was dangerous. What did Neptune choose to do, members of the jury? Neptune abandoned safety when they allowed the dive master, Reggie Rogers, to be paired with Lee Allen. A dive master, no matter what the experience level, can never be paired with another diver. His attention will be split. It will endanger the life of not only the group, but the dive buddy, which in this case was Lee Allen. Neptune abandoned safety when they dove during a storm, when they saw the storm coming, when Lee Allen didn't have a backup air tank. Recall what Mr. Hayden Hathaway told you right during cross-examination just now. He told us that safety is the #1 priority, except when business gets involved. He would have dove with them to the Hepburn, but he had a few business calls to attend to. Neptune abandoned standards, members of the jury, by allowing Lee Allen to come on this trip to begin with only an advanced open water certification. The recreational limit is 100 feet. The absolute limit for recreational divers is 130 feet. Recall testimony of Bailey Johnson. She told you that diving to the Hepburn would require a diver to go 40 feet below, exposing divers to new dangers they've never experienced before. And like Quincy Montgomery said, nitrogen narcosis would affect them all. We heard how Hathaway admits himself on the stand. He abandoned the standards listed in Scuba Diving 101, members of the jury. He admits that. They abandoned Lee Allen when they sent Lee Allen through the ship by himself with no one with him. Members of the jury, we have proven that it is more likely than not that Lee Allen suffered harm because of Neptune's breach of duty. Because Neptune breached their duty by acting with a reckless disregard for Lee's own safety. Which brings us to the third element. Was this breach of duty the direct and proximate cause of Lee Allen's death? Now, direct meaning but for Neptune's actions, would Lee Allen still be here today? If Neptune had not sent Lee by himself, if Neptune had kept Lee Allen on the boat, if Neptune had just applied what they knew, knowing the standard, the certification that Lee Allen had, Lee Allen would still be here today. Proximate cause. Was it foreseeable? Members of the jury, recall the cross-examination of Reggie Rogers. How he told us that we should consider pulling Lee Allen from the dive to the Hepburn because Lee Allen's unskilled. It was foreseeable from not one but two witnesses that we heard in today's trial that Lee Allen was going to suffer more harm. Members of the jury, if you're going to experience harm at 120 feet, it's undoubtable, it's more likely than not, that going deeper is only going to make things worse. We have proven our burden in today's case, members of the jury, by a preponderance of the evidence. Neptune abandoned safety when they paired the dive master with Lee Allen, leaving Lee Allen to himself to keep himself safe. They abandoned standards, sending Lee Allen to dive under conditions he was not certified to do, inexperienced to handle. And we heard how Lee Allen was abandoned when Reggie Rogers went to his wife and told his wife, "I'm sorry. I left your husband while breathing outside the Hepburn shipwreck." Find Neptune liable, members of the jury, for the death of Lee Allen. Thank you.